Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Yakuza Kiwami. Now, as you know, Yakuza Kiwami is meant to be a remake of the first Yakuza game that came out on the PS2 in 2006. And much like the second Yakuza game that came with it, it eventually got a remake. Now, the remake itself is more of a reskin, a more different, a more sort of better version of what the PS2 one was. I feel like with Yakuza Kiwami is that it doesn't feature the English voice actors, which I think was for the best. And when actually listening to it, I couldn't help but feel Daryl Koyo just didn't really fit the part. So, pretty much the premise of the game is meant to follow similar to the plot of the Yakuza game, where you as Kyu take the fall for Nishiki, who basically you end up in prison for 10 years, and as soon as you get out, you learn about a large sum of money disappearing, and you also meet Haruka, who may hold the key to it, as well as meeting Date, as well as Rina, who end up playing crucial parts. Now, I think to me what Yakuza Kiwami got right, which I think the first game got wrong, was that it was able to humanize Nishiki, because with Yakuza 0, you actually got to understand why Nishiki was a bit more hesitant about being part of the Yakuza. And I think when you had the additional story modes of Nishiki's story, was that he was meant to feel responsible for sending you to prison. He was meant to be responsible for taking the responsibility of becoming the Yakuza. And over time, we saw how people's actions, how people sort of saw him as worthless, made him into what he is now. And you can kind of tell Nishiki slowly starts to lose his old ways and become something just as worse. And I think as well, what's good about the game as well is that you've got a Majima storyline. With Majima's storyline, he basically tries to attack you or basically shows up to places to get you to fight him, and in doing so can help you unlock your fighting moves of the Dragon of Jojima's fighting style. And yeah, much like Yakuza 0, you can basically use the same moves you learnt from Yakuza 0, like the Beast and everything else. I think to me this game was better without English voice actors. Again, I think when you have ones that can actually do well, like the actor who voiced Tai in Digimon, Christina V, Vic Miola, and also Linda Young, they can actually do some acting. I just felt with the PS2 one, I just felt Key's English dub voice didn't really fit the role. It didn't really sound like what Key was. And I feel what the game does well at is that when you've got scenery, boss battles and that, you can tell they really put a lot more attention in this. And it doesn't really have that kind of campy PS2 music. And I feel like when you actually had Nishiki and Kyu both fighting each other, every punch, every blow is like a memory of what the two friends used to be. And it was meant to be a reminder that sometimes the old ways can't come back. As well as what I do think what was good about the boss battles, when villains do charge themselves up, it really makes you switched on as to prevent them from gaining full amount of their health. And yeah, it does work, because it's meant to help you kind of become better at fighting, as well as that when you play as Kyu at first, you aren't going to be in your full health, so you are going to grind arguably quite quick. So obviously, you know, if you're going to battle a boss battle, you need to battle hordes of enemies, complete sub-stories, and so on. And what was also good about Yakuza Kiwami is that it's linked to Yakuza 0. So meaning that this game and Yakuza Kiwami 2 are more of the additional carry-on, which I think the first two games this should have come more on the PS3, but that's just me. And I think to me what made Yakuza Kiwami work was that the music in the game felt a bit more emotional. You felt sorry for some characters. You actually had more of a storyline with it. So, in general, this game definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.